Hi everybody. Okay, this is just editor Shayla jumping in just to say for the first 3 videos I have of just like the mini in-between book review videos, I'm going to apologize for the background noise that are in them. I didn't realize my air purifier was on and it really picked up on the background noise of that. You can probably hear the walking around upstairs right now too. But so for the next 3 videos I post about like the books I'm reading or the books that I've read, like the little break in between the book reviews, there'll be background noise for the next 3 ones because I just don't feel like re-recording them. So I apologize for that. Sorry about the noise. But after those, we'll go back to not having air purifier noises in the background. But so feel free to skip them if the noise is too much or too annoying. You can still hear me, and obviously you can still see the books. You can just hear the air purifier going off like crazy in the background. I forgot to close my door while I was recording, but that's all I wanted to say. Bye. So I think in between doing book reviews, to give myself time to read them and actually like pay attention to them so I'm not just rushing to get a review done, I will talk about books that I have read in the past that I'm not going to do whiteboard reviews of because I've read them so long ago. So I've got a couple here, I'll do 3 at a time per video. So every 3 books that I review, I'll talk about 3 books that I've read in the past. So my first 3 that I have, My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. I was initially going to do a review of this when I finished it, but I ended up just quickly moving on to the next book, even though I did really enjoy this one. So this is about 2 best friends who basically go through a demonic possession and an exorcism. So Abby meets, at a very young age, she meets Gretchen, and they quickly become besties. Gretchen's the only one who shows up to her birthday party after the quote-unquote mean girl of the class, who's also very rich, has like a party at her house where like everybody can ride like the horses that they have and stuff. So everybody chooses to go to her party instead of Abby's at the roller rink. And Gretchen goes to Abby's only because Abby invited her first, but they end up becoming best friends basically. And so high school hits, and for some reason that mean girl, they're now in like a little friend group with that mean girl and another girl. God, what was her? Another girl named Glee. So it's Abby, Glee, Gretchen, and God, I don't even remember Mean Girl's name because Mean Girl was just so basic Mean Girl, if you know what I mean. Margaret. So the 4, it kind of starts with like the 4 are at like Margaret's like cabin or something, and they're taking drugs, and they decide to try LSD. For all of them except Gretchen, they're like, this must be really weak because I'm not feeling anything. But Gretchen like totally flips out. She strips down naked to nothing but her tennis shoes and jumps in the lake and then disappears, and they have to go looking for her through the woods. And when they find her, she's like all freaking out, and like they're like, oh, she's having a bad trip. But none of us felt anything. And so from there, Abby starts noticing that Gretchen's acting really weird, becoming really obsessed with death, starts acting out of character. And so it just slowly starts to progress where Abby starts to put together that something happened to her in the woods, and now she's possessed by something, and she's trying to do everything she can to like get her friend back basically, while her friend is also possessed and acting like, I don't want to be around you anymore because I'm this cool person now. But it was really mean high school girls possession, kind of trying to determine, is she really possessed or is she just kind of being a bitch because it's high school and puberty and all that shit. I liked the book. I thought it was really well written. I liked some characters more than others in the sense that I felt like some characters were just there to be there, if that makes sense. Like literal background characters, like you don't give a shit about them. They're just there to either irritate the main character, therefore make you irritated, and they didn't really get any more like character development besides, oh, they're here, that means I'm going to be annoyed. I like our two main characters, Gretchen and Abby. We get a lot about them because they're the two main characters. But I would still recommend this. It was really interesting. That's all I'll say. I highly recommend you read it. I'm not going to do like my whiteboard reviews where I do all the spoilers, just because that's not what these ones are for. These are like pretty quick. Here's what I thought. Did I like it? Did I not like it? Type of thing. I liked this one. If I rated it out of 5, I would say 4.5 out of 5, just because where the fuck did that word go? I had a thought. I would say 4.5 out of 5, just because there were some parts where I was like, okay, that's kind of dumb. But for the most part, really enjoyed this and highly recommend it. The next one I have is The Burning Class by Louisa Colon. It's a novella. It's one of the books that I got in my Twisted Retreat book box. It was the 10 days of horror Christmas advent calendar box that they did. You get 6 self-care themed items and 4 books, and one of them is always a novella. So this was the novella, and it's about a girl. Again, I got this around Christmas. Man, I don't even remember the girl's name. I read this so long ago. My biggest thing that I can say about this book is that it's reminded me of Rosemary's Baby meets pyrokinetics, or pretty much, yeah. What it made me think of is like if you combine Rosemary's Baby with meeting pyrokinetics, or like, yeah, pyros. It's about a young woman who in high school, she meets a girl named Tenny, and that's what I remember just because I looked right at the book, and that's the first thing is right there, is her name is Tenny. And Tenny is kind of poor, and is kind of like, she dresses kind of dirty and stuff because her family's poor, and her mom, it's either her mom or her grandma, tells her to go make friends with her just because they feel bad for her, and they're like, just go make friends with her, she looks like she needs friends. So our main character goes and makes friends with her, and at first, as they're little kids, it's fine. She thinks Tenny's kind of cool because Tenny has like out of the box thinking and a wild imagination and stuff like that. And Tenny has a crush on this boy, and when they get older and that crush is still there, they do like a prank call to that boy, and then they hang up on him, like they don't say anything. But well, no, she calls and she says someone has a crush on you, blah blah blah, and he for some reason brings up Tenny. He's like, I hope it's not that weird girl who dresses gross and always looks dirty and stuff or something. And like Tenny is like, well damn, that hurts, basically. But in a nutshell, what happens is that girl starts hanging out with the boy that Tenny has a crush on. Like, she's walking home one night and she sees him hanging out with a bunch of his friends, and he recognizes her, and it's apparent that he's into her, and he's like, hey, come hang out. And they start going and hanging out, and they're all drunk and on drugs, and she drinks a little bit too and kind of ends up on their level, and they starting fires and stuff. And her reasoning in this is really fucking random, but they go to her house and they set her house on fire. For some reason, she's like, fucking, oh, she thinks their house is infested with roaches, and so she's like, burn the house down, because she is convinced that's the only way to get the house clean. Like, she saw like one bug, and now she's like, oh god, we have to burn it. We have to get rid of all of it, or something like that. And it turns out Tenny had snuck into her bedroom. All of her family was gone, and she thought the house was empty. So she's like, yeah, let's fucking burn it down. So they do, and it turns out Tenny was in her bedroom, had snuck in there to like hang out with her, but she wasn't there. So she was just chilling in her room waiting for her to come home. So Tenny died in the fire. But apparently what happened is she's starting to see Tenny's like dead body, or like everywhere, like Tenny's starting to haunt her. So the book is about going to someone to get rid of Tenny, the price her husband has to pay for that, and all of that. And it's a really weird look into the main character's mind, because you're like, is this bitch actually crazy this whole fucking time? I would only give this like a 3 out of 5, if that, because the ending leaves you with more questions than answers. It feels like it was really rushed at the end to get to the end. I'm not sure if the author was trying to keep it at a certain length, and that's why, but it does feel like this was rushed. The ending was rushed, and it left me with a lot more questions than I like a book that has no sequel to leave me with. I'd still recommend reading it. Like, obviously, for any of these, take my reviews with a grain of salt. Read the book yourself, see what you think. That's what I think about The Burning Class. 3 out of 5, and I mean, read it just because, you know, free will and all that jazz. But that was my opinion of it. My next one is All Hallows. All Hallows by Christopher Golden. It literally, okay, if you've seen the movie Trick or Treat, it's kind of styled around that. It's Halloween night, one night, a bunch of different people's point of views of stuff that's happening that night. And I fucking loved this book. Like, it was a page turner from the start to the end. And the plot twist makes you go, holy wait a minute. So it's Halloween night. There's different families that are going through some different shit. And then these kids start showing up that no one knows where they've come from, but they're saying that there's this man that's trying to catch them, and they have to stay safe until morning from the man. And what's the name that they called him? The Cunning Man. And they're saying they have to stay away, they have to hide from the Cunning Man. They can't let the Cunning Man catch them. And there's these different kids for each person, or each like family that has a thing going on. They each meet a different kid that's hiding from the Cunning Man. And it's just so crazy because like you're rooting for almost everybody. There's like a really asshole dad in this book. You're rooting for almost everybody in this book, and when you get to like the plot twist of it, and you're just like, well shit, didn't see that coming. The ending was really interesting too, and it like leaves you with like a, well, fuck, what are they gonna do in the morning now? Because like it ends like almost at the end of Halloween night, and you're just thinking, man, are all these families gonna like trauma bond now or something? Like what do you do from here on? Like, I want like a sequel of them like the next like the next day or a few days after, just kind of like sitting down and going, well fuck, wait a minute, that sucked, or something like that. But All Hallows was really fucking good. I would say 5 out of 5, just because I really like horror too, and this was really fucking creepy in a lot of different spots. I also really liked Trick or Treat, the movie, and this really does. I feel like this pays a really good tribute to that movie, just because it was fun. It was a really fun read. Alright, so those are my first 3. I'm only going to do 3 at a time, just to keep my every 3 books I whiteboard review, I'll review 3 books that I've read. Just to keep that. It'll just be like a video I can put in between to give me time to keep reading and getting good notes for my whiteboard stuff, because I plan on filming every Tuesday so I can edit Wednesdays and post a review for you every Thursday. So with that schedule that I really am trying to keep, I want to make sure that I give myself time to actually read and digest and enjoy what I'm reading, and not feel like I have to rush to finish to get a review up for you. So that's the schedule. Every Thursday there'll be a whiteboard review, 3 in a row, and then you'll get a mini, these are the books that I've read so far type of review, just a quick what the book's about and then what I thought of it, and 3 more videos, and then 3 more mini book review type of thing. So thank you for watching. After this one, so next video after this, we'll go back to doing a book review. Thank you.